super simple. It's imagination time with Caitie. Hi, friends. You're listening to a special Halloween episode of Super Simple Imagination Time called If I Were a Ghost. We hope you think it's spooktacular. Enjoy! Hello, hello. It's good to be with you, my friend. Hello, hello. I'm glad we're together again. We got Zach on the keys, Caitie singing, la 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 la. We'll have some fun in our imagination, go on adventures again and again. Hello, hello. It's good to be with you, my friend. Hello, hello. Welcome to this spooky, silly Halloween episode of Imagination Time. Today, we're going to explore all the fun and spooky things we can be on Halloween using our imaginations. I'm your host, Caitie, and this is Zach.
Hello, hello.
Oh, Zach, it sounds like you're already pretending to be spooky. At Halloween, we can pretend to be spooky or silly things by dressing up in costumes. Once we're all dressed up, we go out trick-or-treating in our costumes and collect candy from our neighborhood friends. It's a very exciting and special night that comes once a year on October 31st. But we can pretend Halloween is any day by using our imaginations. Let's take a moment to settle into our imaginations so we can really get into all the spooky fun of Halloween. Ready, Zach?
Ready, Caitie.
Are you ready, friends? Let's take a deep breath all together. In 1, 2, 3, hold it. Out 3, 2, 1. Let's listen to the sounds around us. Ooh, Zach's piano sounds a little spooky, doesn't it? There's usually lots of spooky sounds on Halloween. Let's send a shiver through our fingers and give them a wiggle. We'll give our toes a little shiver too. And maybe we can imagine a shiver going through our bodies, all the way from the top of our heads down to the tips of our toes. Let's close our eyes and take one more big breath. In 1, 2, 3, hold it. Out 3, 2, 1. I'm feeling in the Halloween spirit. If I were a ghost, I would say boo boo. If I were a ghost, I would say boo boo. If I were a ghost, you would hear me say boo boo. Ooh, spooky. It's good to remind ourselves during Halloween that all the spooky costumes we see are pretend and just part of Halloween fun. When we dress up in costumes, in our imagination or in real life, and we pretend to be something else, you're still you, and I'm still me, underneath the costume the whole time. Which is good, because being you is the best thing you can be. But it is fun to pretend, especially on Halloween. On Halloween, you can be anything you want to be. There are so many different kinds of costumes we could choose to dress up in. You could be something spooky, like a witch or a ghost. Or you could be something funny, like a robot or a chicken. You could dress up as something imaginary, like a unicorn, or as something real, like a firefighter. You could be an animal, like a cat, or a food, like a hamburger, or dress up as another person. There are so many things we could be.
It can be hard to choose.
Yeah, it can. Let's try out some different costumes in our imaginations. That might help us decide. We can be anything when we're imagining anything we want to be. Imagine with me. Let's start by pretending to be spooky ghosts, like in the song we sang. What do you imagine it would be like to be a ghost? I imagine it feels kind of tingly in my body, like I'm getting lighter and lighter, like a feather. Can you feel that too? I imagine I can feel my body lifting up, up, up off the ground. Can you imagine you see your toes dangling up off the floor? Ooh, it feels kind of funny to be floating like a ghost. Whoa! Let's try to move around. Move, 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 move to the left. Whoa! It's kind of tricky to move when you're floating around in the air, isn't it? Maybe we could use our arms to help us, like we're swimming through the air. Let's pretend to move our arms. Whee! Ooh, we're flying! Should we go a little faster? Let's go! Whoa! I imagine we're flying really fast now. I imagine I can feel the wind rushing past my ghost body as I fly through the sky.
Uh-oh, Caitie. I imagine there's a wall up ahead.
Oh, we're going too fast to stop now. But the thing about ghosts is they can go through walls like magic. Let's try it. I imagine the wall is getting closer. But, whoosh! My ghost body floated right through it. Did you see that in your mind? It was amazing. 1 second the wall was there, and then we were on the other side. Whew! That's a special thing about pretending to be a ghost. We can imagine flying through walls and floating through the sky. That's pretty different from how we get around, isn't it? Let's try another costume. Let's pretend to be a robot.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. If I were a robot, I would say beep, boop. If I were a robot, I would say beep, boop. If I were a robot, you would hear me say beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Robots do make some funny sounds. Let's make some silly sounds together. Beep, boop, blop. Bing, bong. Ding, bing. Those are pretty silly. What would it feel like to be a robot? Maybe your arms and legs would be very stiff. Good idea, robot friend. Can you imagine what it would be like to move your arms and legs like a stiff robot? Imagine taking a big robot step. Boom! And another one. Boom! Whoa! That's tricky. I imagine my body feels really heavy. Does your robot body feel heavy too? It feels like I'm made out of metal. To be exact, 60% of your body is stainless steel and 40% is electric wiring. Whoa, I forgot robots can also know a lot of things. Hey, let's search around our robot brain to find some fun facts about Halloween. Imagine all the robot thoughts sorting through your mind. I'm thinking a thought. I'm thinking a lot. Here are some facts about Halloween. People carve pumpkins on Halloween, but the first jack-o'-lanterns were made out of turnips, not pumpkins. Pumpkins are technically a fruit, not a vegetable. And pumpkins are not always orange. They can be white or yellow or even blue.
Whoa! Robots do know a lot of things.
Yeah, it would be neat to know everything in the whole world like a robot. But it's impossible to remember everything. It is fun to pretend, though, when you're pretending to be a robot. Let's pretend to try on one more costume. I have a fun one in mind. Let's pretend to be a witch. If I were a witch, I would say yee-hee-hee. If I were a witch, I would say yee-hee-hee. If I were a witch, you would hear me say yee-hee-hee-hee-hee-hee-hee. Let's imagine we have a big pointy witch hat on our head and long witchy robes that flow down to our toes. I imagine I see a broomstick hanging on the wall and a big black cauldron bubbling over the fire. A cauldron is a big pot that witches use to make their potions.
It's our witch's potion.
What do you imagine you smell? I imagine I smell something sweet. I think it's coming from the cauldron. Ooh, I I imagine the potion smells delicious. Should we try it? Well, how else is a witch supposed to know if their potion works or not? Let's pretend to take a spoonful. It tastes as delicious as it smells. Yum, 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 yum. But what does the potion do? Oh, I imagine my body is getting tighter. It feels like everything is squishing together. I think I'm shrinking. I imagine the ceiling is getting further away, and I'm getting closer to the ground. I imagine the potion is turning me into something else. Something smaller than I was before. Something with 4 legs, a fluffy tail, and whiskers. Meow. The potion turned us into a cat. That's fun. Can you imagine your whiskers twitching on your cute little cat face? And your furry tail flicking behind you? Let's pretend to make a sound like a cat. If I were a cat, I would say meow. If I were a cat, I would say meow. If I were a cat, you would hear me say meow, 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 meow. Meow. Oh, I imagine I feel my body starting to change again. This time it's stretching, getting bigger and taller. I imagine my cat fur is disappearing as the ceiling gets closer and the ground gets further away.
We're not cats anymore.
I'm Caitie again. I guess the witch's potion doesn't last very long. It's kind of like Halloween. We can pretend to be all sorts of things for one night. But then we're back to being ourselves. I don't mind, though. Even though I like to pretend to fly in the sky like a ghost and know everything like a robot and turn into a cat like a witch. My favorite thing to be is myself. And I think being yourself is the most interesting thing you can be. I had a lot of fun imagining being in all those different Halloween costumes with you. I hope that you have a wonderful Halloween, no matter what costume you decide to put on. Whether you're a ghost, or a robot, or a witch. If I were a ghost, I would say boo boo. If I were a robot, I would say beep boop. If I were a witch, you would hear me say yee meow. Now it's time to say goodbye. 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 Our time has come to an end. Goodbye for now, until we're together again. Goodbye, goodbye, and happy Halloween from all your friends at Super Simple. From me, Caitie, and from Zach.
See you soon.
Bye, friends. Hey, if you enjoyed that episode of Imagination Time, we'd love to hear it. please leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And subscribe to Super Simple Imagination Time with Caitie. It really helps us to share more imagination time with you.